Cold email still is the best way to grow your B2B business, yet I talk to countless business owners literally every single day and take a look at their cold email campaigns and see that they struggle to book meetings. But whenever I take a look under the hood of their campaigns, I see yet again they have the exact same problems over and over and over again that totally destroy their campaign performance and make it nearly impossible for them to book meetings. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 5 top killers that ruin cold email campaigns and show you how you can solve the problems and how you can avoid them so you maximize the amount of meetings you're booking on your calendar. So without further ado, let's dive straight in. All right, so the 5 worst cold email mistakes and how to fix them. I can tell you guys without a doubt that I've seen hundreds of your campaigns. I've run hundreds of campaigns myself. I've talked to a lot of you out there, literally hundreds of you, and there are a lot of mistakes that you guys are making and it is destroying your campaign performance. So I'm just gonna walk in, show you how you can fix those mistakes so you can actually see the results you want to be seeing from your campaigns. So why you should listen to me, my name is Matt. I send a little over 200,000 emails per month across a variety of industries over at my agency. I also teach a bunch of people. I run a newsletter. But here are a few wins from just the last few weeks. Whenever you do cold email properly, this is the type of stuff we're seeing. Meeting set to deal close within 24 hours. So we set a meeting, and from whenever we set the meeting to the close deal, those 24 hours, 10 calls booked within 10 days of a new campaign going live, 3 meetings booked in 3 hours, 2K trial deal closed, 6 clients closed through a system build out that we helped someone with. This is just within the last couple of weeks, not to mention, all the other results we're seeing. So this is what you can expect if you actually get your campaigns running right. So without further ado, the first mistake that I see people making is that their emails are landing in spam. So this is an obvious one, but this mistake kills campaigns. If your emails are landing in the spam folder, people simply will not see them. And the people that do find them in the spam folder are going to think this is spammy because it's in the spam folder. So this is probably the most overlooked part of cold email by people who are just starting out. They think, oh, let me just, build out this lead list, build out this sequence and throw it into, a random sequencer and just start blasting emails. But if you are not landing in the inbox properly, which most tools are not optimized for, and if you're not doing everything perfectly right, then you will definitely not land in the inbox consistently, which will destroy your campaign performance. So to illustrate this, which billboard would you like to advertise on? The one in the middle of the desert or the one on a crowded highway where everyone sees it? Now, if you're not an idiot and you look at these 2 options, you'd obviously want to pick the one on a crowded highway because everyone sees it. So if you want an effective advertisement, people need to see it in the first place, because if no one sees your advertisement, you could have the best, most invested in advertisement with the most bells and whistles and everything perfect, but if no one sees it, then you are not going to have a good time. I'd rather take the worst advertisement in the world but everyone sees it, rather than the best advertisement in the world and no one sees it, because the whole point of advertising is to have people see it in the first place. So I'm stressing this because a lot of people cut corners on deliverability. They use the wrong tools, they try and add images, they try and squeeze more emails out from each inbox they're sending from, they use links in their emails, they do all this junk, all this garbage that absolutely kills your deliverability. And you only need to do one of these things wrong to destroy your deliverability. So it's very sensitive, these rules are changing, and even if you do things right, over time your deliverability might diminish. So definitely do not cut any corners on deliverability. I am stressing this so much because it is so important. So deliverability is single-handedly the most important part of your campaigns. Single-handedly. If no one sees your advertisement, it is not an effective advertisement. So how do you know that you are getting deliverability issues? You're probably doing something wrong there. If you're seeing less than 1% reply rate, realistically, if you're seeing 2% or less, that's a pretty good indication. Well, but if you're seeing 1% or less, 100%, you're very likely having a deliverability issue. If you're seeing sub 30% open rates, I don't track open rates candidly because, again, they actually do hurt deliverability in the long run. But if you're seeing below 30%, there's a good chance that you're seeing issues with your deliverability. If you're using a spam tester, mailreach.co, one of my favorite places to check. If you're using one of these spam testers and you see that your emails are landing in the spam folder, there's also a good chance that you're landing in the spam folder in your larger scale campaigns. If you're seeing declining warm-up health scores, declining KPIs as a whole, there's a very good likely chance that you are slowly landing in the spam folder, if not, completely landing in the spam folder across all your emails. So how do you make sure that you're landing in the inbox? How do you make sure you avoid this? Number 1, set up your DMARC, set up your DKIM, set up your SPF records. This is the basic stuff whenever you're setting up your cold email inboxes. no more than 2 email inboxes per one domain. Warm up all your accounts for a minimum of 14 days. This helps build up your reputation. This helps make sure that your email accounts go and actually land in the inbox because they have activity and a history of landing in the inbox prior. Sending less than 50 total emails per day. This includes cold emails and warm emails from an inbox per day. No links, no images. Links and images absolutely destroy deliverability. Even having one link I've seen alone has destroyed campaigns. And same with images. Same thing over again. Verifying all your emails. So if you verify your emails, this lowers your bounce rate. If your bounce rate's high, you're going to land in spam. And then having no open rate tracking. So this is what I was alluding to earlier, because to have open rate tracking, you need to have like a transparent image pixel in your email, which kind of is an image. So if you have all these things in place, there's a very high likelihood chance that you will land in the inbox. Tripping on my words there. If you have all these things in place, you have a very high likelihood chance that you will land in the inbox, among having the other things right, like the right tools and everything else in place. But this is just a few high level things on the deliverability end that if you have these right, there's a good chance you're going to land in the inbox folder. All right, so the next thing I'm going to cover is no product market fit. So if you have no product market fit, which basically means the market that you are trying to serve, they do not want your product. So if the market doesn't want your product or service, you're going to have a terrible time with cold email, because this is not only unique to cold email, but advertising as a whole. Because if people just don't have demand for what you're selling, there's a very low likelihood chance you're going to get booked calls, closed deals, because they just don't want what you have. So this happens whenever you're selling something that the market does not have any demand for, because you haven't done your market research or your product is just not in demand right now. So this typically happens to people that are just starting out. If you have an established business, you know, you're doing $1 million a year, something like that, there's a very low likelihood chance you don't have product market fit, because if you've gotten to that point, then that means people want your service. But this applies more to people starting out. And this can also apply on a cold level. So sometimes there's product market fit, you know, within referrals or people in network. But if you don't have product market fit on the cold end, so to complete strangers, that's also another issue. So using cold email to prospect for your first few clients is good because it can help you find product market fit. But a reason why your campaigns might not be doing well is because you don't have it at all in the first place. So said simply, if people don't want what you're selling, there's no amount of cold email magic, you know, deliverability or whatever that will fix that. Cold email is a source of traffic, just like paid ads, just like organic content. It's getting eyeballs to whatever you're selling. But if the product that you're selling, the core thing that you're trying to sell in the first place, is not what the market wants, then fundamentally you're going to have bigger issues. So if you're fundamentally selling something that does not address a real pain point in the market, then you're not going to see any success. Now, you can sell something that addresses somewhat of a pain point and you're going to see less product market fit. But ideally, you want to be selling stuff that solves dire pain points and gets to root causes of issues that people are facing, because that's going to make your response rate way higher. It's going to make your campaigns way more successful. So if you're selling, you know, I just gave an example here, AI chatbots to agency owners, and agency owners don't want AI chatbots, then no one is going to want to get on the phone with you, and you're going to see terrible cold email campaign performance. You're going to see terrible KPIs. It's not the script, it's not the deliverability, it's that people simply don't want what you're selling. And also, side note, I didn't write this on here, but if you have really terrible product market fit and you're getting bad KPIs because people are, you know, marking you as spam, because people are not interested, people aren't replying to your emails, that's also going to hurt your deliverability, because when people respond positively and they don't mark your emails as spam, it also improves the deliverability that you're getting on your email. So if people, you know, you do all the deliverability stuff right, but you have terrible product market fit, emailing the wrong people, then people are going to mark it as spam. And even if you're doing everything right, it can kill your deliverability. So it's not the script, it's not the deliverability. You just need to make sure that what you are selling is stuff that people want in the market. So the way that you fix this is by doing market research. So look at your competitors, Google them, look at their case studies, talk to the market, call them, survey them, ask them questions. If you have clients already, get on the phone with them, ask them what they want different, ask them what would make it a better product. Ask what people want just in general, your target market. If you see a business that's rapidly growing, there's a good chance they have very strong product market fit because people are using it and the market is growing because people like what they're selling. So if you have customers who previously bought your product for a specific reason, those people want it. Those are a good indication. So if you have 10 clients and 8 of them bought your service for one specific reason, that's probably the reason why most people will buy your service. You know, there's obviously, you know, exceptions and other stuff on the side, but if a majority of the people purchasing your service in the past have that pain point, then you want to be selling into that pain point and selling to other people like that, because there's multiple segments you can sell into, but you want to make sure you're selling to the people that have the real pain point and have a demand for your product or service. Otherwise, you're not going to see great results. So don't try and generate demand out of thin air. Don't try and sell something you think people might want. Sell stuff that people do want. And when you do that, the market is going to respond very well because they want it in the first place. All right, so the next thing we're going to cover is lack of testing. So if you don't test your campaigns, you're going to miss out on big opportunities for improvement. So what do I mean by that? You are very likely not going to see the best results on your campaigns the first time around. I'd love to say this, even me as a cold email guy, I send a lot of emails and I don't even see the best angle on the first time whenever I run my campaign. So you might come at it with the wrong angle. You might come at it with the wrong audience. You might not have the right verbiage because you haven't tested it out in the first place. So I've ran hundreds of campaigns myself, literally hundreds, even at a time. I think we have 100 campaigns going right now. And I've definitely been able to create a lot of winning campaigns, and I can do it a lot better now that I've done this hundreds of times. But I'd be lying to say that even now, sometimes the first campaigns don't work out perfectly, right? You need to be testing everything. You need to be testing your CTAs, your offers, your script style, your audience. So breaking this down further, within your CTAs, so your call to actions, do a direct approach, do an indirect approach, do a lead magnet angle where you give something away for free. On your offers, try guarantees, try performance-based stuff, try no upfront costs, try script style, so a formal script, an informal script, a networking approach to your scripts. These are just like some examples I had off the top of my head. There's a million subcategories that you can test under these. So audience, you can try job titles, industries, location, headcounts, technographics. So even within job titles, there's, the C-suite, the VPs, the manager level people you could be reaching out to, the industries, there's, hundreds of industries you can reach out to, locations, technographics. So determine what your bucket that you need in the first place of people that can even use your product. But within that, you need to play around with these variables to see what gets the most receptive response from your audience, because these things can make a huge difference in the results that you're getting from your campaigns. So the goal here is to test multiple things and look to improve above your baseline. So there are baselines, like I give baselines that every, 250 to 500 prospects should lead to a booked meeting, or, 800 to 1600 emails, which that roughly equates to with follow-ups. But not every market gets those types of results, and some markets get way better than those results. The main thing that you're trying to optimize for here is taking a baseline of your initial idea and trying to, every day just get a little bit above the baseline, and then over the course of a month or a quarter, over 2 quarters, you're going to see a lot better results because you've optimized, you split tested, and you've seen what the market wants by using real data. And if you didn't do this before, then you'd be missing out on tons of results. All right, so the fourth thing we're going to cover here is not sending enough volume. So I've probably said this on almost every single one of my videos, because the more emails you send, the more calls you'll book. This is probably one of the easiest levers that you can pull to see better results with your campaigns. So if you're not sending enough emails in the first place, you're not going to reap the benefits. Assume you have a fully optimized funnel. You did everything properly. You invested all the time. You built out all the lead lists. You built out all the email accounts. You're doing everything perfect. And the KPI that you're getting is every 1,000 emails you send, you get a booked call. If you're sending 50 emails per day, you have everything perfectly optimized. But if you're sending 50 emails a day, you're going to get 1 booked call a month, which is not good, right? This, again, is assuming your process is optimized. You have product market fit. You did all this work to get to this point to where you're getting actually a good ratio. But if you did this exact same process, you had everything optimized, and you send 1,000 emails a day, 1 call per month becomes 20 calls per month. And sending more emails when you have everything else optimized is not hard. It's just buying more leads, getting more email accounts set up, scaling the process up. That might require more logistics, effort, energy, but that is one of the biggest levers, is just making sure that you're sending enough throughput through your pipeline or your funnel. So this is the craziest chart you've ever seen. I've said this in probably 10 of my other videos, but the more cold emails you send, the more meetings you will book. It is a linear equation, plain and simple. Yes, if you send more emails, you will book more calls. So set up more email accounts, scrape more leads, buy the upgraded sending tool subscription. I know a lot of you guys, I don't want to spend more money. If you spend all this time, effort, energy, like the time is a valuable resource here. Your time is valuable. You're spending all the time investing into this. You want to make sure you're doing it the right way, doing the right strategy, doing the right email account sending volume, scraping the right amount of leads, because otherwise you're going to sink a ton of time into this. And yeah, you might save some money by doing less email sending, but you're going to sink a ton of time into this and you're not going to see the results that you want simply because you did not send enough emails out in the first place. All right, so the final thing we're going to cover here is infomercial style script writing. So what do I mean by this? Whenever you're sending an automated email out, you want to make sure that it sounds non-automated. So if you're sending 1,000 emails a day, I hope you're not doing this by hand. If you're watching this channel, you can watch the other videos to see how you can do it in an automated way. But people are going to respond way better if it feels like you personally wrote them an email and you're talking in a way that sounds human. So if you're going to want to get this effect, you need to stop writing your cold emails like an infomercial. So what do I mean by this? Like, whenever a lot of people have this misconception that whenever they're sending out their email to 1,000 people at a time, that they're writing it in a way that they're sending it out to 1,000 people at a time. Cold email is a one-to-one medium. You're supposed to be emulating, if not, actually doing it in a way that you're reaching out to one person. You're not supposed to be talking to an audience or talking like it's an infomercial. You need to talk to one specific direct person, because there's a way higher chance people are going to respond to your emails if it feels like you directly reached out to them. So here's an example. This is roughly adapted from a script that I actually saw one of my consulting clients have here. So, hi Nam, imagine a world where you can drive revenue just using AI. This is now a reality. We are AI Gen, the world's leading AI automation firm with 5+ years experience. We bring blah, 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 blah. You can read through this, but this isn't exactly what they wrote, but this is the same style that they wrote it in, right? And if you read this, this reads like an infomercial. So does this feel like something that someone would personally send out to you? Do you think your boss would send you an email like this, or a coworker, or even someone trying to sell you something? Like, if I want to sell this service in front of me here, I would not type like this at all. If I want to write a manual email out to a CEO that I think would be relevant, I would not be writing it like this at all. So I hope you're not writing your emails like this, and I hope your boss isn't talking to you like this, because I would just feel sorry for you. But you want to write your emails like you are talking to a real human on an individual level. Cold email is a one-to-one channel. You want to talk like you were speaking to one singular person. So your email should read in the same way as if you were approaching a random stranger at a conference or an event, or even what you would write to a single person. So if you can get in that mindset of maybe even manually write out an email to 1 or 2 people specifically to them, and see how you write it in that style, and then you can send that in an automated way at scale with the right personalization and whatnot. So here's a better example for the same product or service. Hi Name, noticed your website doesn't have an AI chatbot. We could build you one for completely free that can book sales calls on your behalf. Our average user gets 1 sales call booked for every 500 visitors. Interested in getting a trial? This is the way that, I would hope that you would talk to a person if you're speaking to them on a direct level, not like, using all these rhetorical questions, saying all these big foo-foo words that don't really mean anything, just getting straight to the point, telling them what you're selling, telling them the results they can be getting, and having a clear way that you can book a call with them. So this sounds a lot more human. It sounds a lot more like something that a real person would say out loud. It's short, direct, to the point, and it doesn't sound like an ad. And this is what you want to make sure that you're doing in your cold emails. Otherwise, it's going to destroy your campaign performance. So what next? Now you can take a look at your own campaigns, fix all these mistakes, and then be on your way to booking hundreds of calls every single month. But as a business owner, you should know that there's a lot more that goes into these cold email campaigns. Growing your business is a full-time job. And if you don't want to set up all this stuff yourself, you can book a call using the first link in the description below. Check out our website, see if you want to work with us. Otherwise, if you just want to check out the free content, we have a video. It's going to be linked somewhere here and you can see it on our screen. The Ultimate Guide to Cold Email in 2024, where I go more in depth, talk about how you can set up the email accounts, do the whole process end to end. And if you want to just check out the other videos on the channel, that's great. Appreciate you guys a ton, and I will see you in the next video.